We are live. Cowboys postgame show with yours truly, James Espinosa, host of the Sunday Sports Rush right here in Corpus Christi, on the home of the Dallas Cowboys here in Corpus Christi. News Talk KEYS. Find me on the MICSportsNetwork.com, all of that good stuff. It is the Cowboys postgame show, and I want to hear from you guys out there. Make sure to dive on in, get into the comments. Cowboys fall to the Ravens, 28-25 in Dallas. The Cowboys now fall to 1-2 on the season. Losers of 2 in a row. Lost to the Saints last week, as we detailed heavily on the postgame show after the Saints. But tonight, this evening, 28-25, the Cowboys fall to the Baltimore Ravens. The Cowboys score 19 points in the fourth quarter. They almost pull off a monumental comeback. It would have been a fantastic comeback. It would have been amazing if the Cowboys could have pulled that win off. And I think we can all agree on that. Just too little and obviously too late. You fall to the Ravens 28-25. Get your comments in here. I want your opinions on what happened during this ball game. I want to hear from you. You are the pulse of the fan. I'm a fan along with you, but I want to get your opinions across, so make sure you hit me up, right here on the comment section. Questions, concerns, anything about this Cowboys game. I'm about to dive into it here headstrong here on the postgame show. Once again, Ravens 28, Cowboys 25. Where do we begin? How about we begin with this? How about we begin with another slow Dallas Cowboys start to the game? A 14-0 start, 14-3 start for the Ravens. And Dallas, much like we saw last week against the Saints, my one big question that I had for the Cowboys entering this ball game against the physical Baltimore Ravens was this. When the Ravens punch you in the mouth, will you be able to withstand that punch, and will you be able to punch back? And for the vast majority of this game, the Cowboys did not punch back. The Cowboys were the punching bag. And far too many times, we have seen Dallas do this, where they get down by double digits, and all of a sudden, you see mopey faces all over the field. You see bad body language on the sideline. You see a team that looks defeated before halftime. That's what I saw tonight. So despite the fact that the Cowboys put 19 points on the Ravens in the fourth quarter, and they almost won this game, 28-25, but you know what they say about almost winning? That's called losing. They still lost, all right? 28-25. Despite them doing that, this team, when they get down early, they cannot recover from that. And I hate to say this. I hate to put the label on the Cowboys like this, but they're a front-running squad. When the Cowboys are up, when the Cowboys have the lead, they're having a good time. Everybody's laughing. You're posting your sounds of the sideline videos on DallasCowboys.com. Everybody's cracking jokes. Once you go down 10 or more, sad faces everywhere. Sad faces, especially from number 88, CeeDee Lamb. Talk about a pouty child on the field when things do not go his way. 88 out there is probably one of the biggest culprits of this syndrome that the Cowboys suffer from. When they go down double digits, they just can't seem to fight back. Or when they do fight back, it's like today, and it's too little, it's too late. The defense was horrible today. Again, just like last week, they couldn't stop the run. The offense today, until the fourth quarter, right? The offense today was pathetic. They couldn't move the ball. The Cowboys cannot run the freaking football to save their damn lives. It's evident. Look at the final rushing totals. 8 carries, 32 yards for Rico Dowdle. 32 yards. The Cowboys averaged 3.2 yards per carry. This team won't go nowhere if they can't successfully run the ball. This team won't go nowhere if they cannot protect Dak Prescott. Tyler Guyton, the left tackle, the rookie, getting his ass whooped all night. Kyle Van Noy had 2 sacks against him. Kyle Van Noy put him in a freaking spin zone, and Guyton couldn't even find his balance. a lot went wrong tonight for the Cowboys. And you could talk about the comeback all you want. That's fine. That's cool. But this game, in my opinion, was over at 28-6 because this is the type of team that the Dallas Cowboys are. When they get down in every single way possible. Let me know what you guys have to say here in the comments. I really want to hear from you guys because this was I don't want to hear any, what's the word I'm looking for? I do not want to hear any moral victories about this comeback. I don't want to hear the Cowboys should have won. Well, if you should have won, guess what? You would have won. I don't want to hear that crap. This team was getting their ass beat. This team was getting embarrassed at home again. Cowboys Stadium, Jerry World, whatever the hell he calls it nowadays, it sounded like a freaking library. And the only noise that was emanating out of that place was Ravens fans. And there was a lot of Ravens fans there. So let me know what you say in the comments. I really, really, really want to hear from you guys. All right, here we go. Diving into the comments right now. Max is in here. What's up, Max? What's up, Mr. Segovia? He says penalties and can't stop the run. Yeah, can't stop the run. Let's see. Baltimore, 45 rushes, 274 yards, 6.1 on the ground per carry. Derrick Henry, 25, 151. He averaged 6 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. Just freaking toying with this defense. Can't stop the run to save their lives. These defensive tackles, expansion team level defensive tackles that they have on this squad right now. Dudes who were sitting on their couch 3 weeks ago expected to stop the run. That's what Jerry Jones' solution was. Chuck's in here. What's up, Chuck? Chuck says, after week 1, I was praising Zimmer, but he might be a liability. The game had passed him by, ? I don't know, but the Saints need a win today to help out the Cowboys. Yeah, the Saints didn't win after all. The Eagles beat the Saints in what was a pretty entertaining game. But yeah, Mike Zimmer so far, man. Look, week 1 against Cleveland, it looked fantastic. Linebackers were flying around. You're making plays, right? But that goes into the front-running attitude that I feel with this team. They got out in front early, and they held the lead, and they were able to pin their ears back. They were able to be chaotic in that sense. But whenever they're down by 7, they're down by 10. Like I said, you start seeing these little crybaby faces. You start seeing a team that looks lost. You start seeing a team that doesn't know how to fight until the end when it's too late. Jens is in here. He says, amen, James, thumbs up. I appreciate you, Jens. We might disagree on a lot of things, but I appreciate you. Let's see. Lito's in here. Lito says, every time the Cowboys lose, some poor guy becomes a meme. That dude with the giant hat, God bless his soul. He's going to live on for eternity in meme lore, especially with the Dallas Cowboys. But that's the risk you take when you go to a game like that and you have pretty prominent seats, right? Don't be caught lacking, as the kids say that I teach at high school. Let's see. What else can we get to? Make sure to get your comments in. We got more in the chat. I appreciate you guys. I'll get to you here soon. Let's look at receiving for the Dallas Cowboys. And let's talk about this problem. Because the Cowboys threw 3 games, right? CeeDee Lamb, we know what he is. We know what CeeDee is. Amazing. Whenever he doesn't have his mopey face, he's a dog, right? He makes plays. The Cowboys don't have a secondary playmaker in that receiving core. Today, Kevontae Turpin, 3 receptions, 51 yards, a touchdown. Jalen Tolbert, 3 receptions, 42 yards, a touchdown. Those guys look pretty decent, right? But you're going to need a lot more than 6 combined receptions from 2 guys. In my opinion, the Cowboys are very, very top-heavy in the offensive sense. You got Dak, you got CeeDee, and then you just got dudes. You cannot rely on the run game. Defenses are going to try to bracket CeeDee, take him away, double him, do all that stuff, and they're going to make the Turpins, the Tolberts, and the Jake Fergusons beat you. Now, Ferg coming back off of injury, 6 for 95, pretty good. Cooks, on the other hand, 2 for 16. Dropped a touchdown in the end zone. Dak put a dime on him. Tough play. I get it, but he still dropped it. This team does not have a solidified number 2 wide receiver, in my opinion. And until they can unlock a little bit more out of Jalen Tolbert or even Kevontae Turpin, you're going to see a lot of struggles from the Cowboys offense, especially with no running game at all, and especially with a left tackle who's getting his ass whooped consistently so far through 3 games. And Terrence Steele on the right side also had a bad game today. The offense I am worried about in a big, big way, because whenever when you don't have those secondary playmakers, it's going to be very hard for them to produce. Obviously, that was very John Madden of me, right? Cowboys were 3 of 4 in the red zone. Cowboys passing, Dak 28 of 51, 379 yards, 2 touchdowns. Took all the way to the end for the Cowboys to finally get going. Too little, too late. Third downs. Let's look at third down efficiency for the Cowboys. 7 of 13 on third downs. Okay. I get it. That could be a tad bit better. Could be better. But 7 of 13, you can live with that on most days. Ravens were 4 of 9 in third down efficiency. The Ravens had 456 total freaking yards, guys. 7.6 per play. And Lamar Jackson was efficient, 12 of 15, 182, and 1 touchdown. Pretty much the same kind of stat line like Carr had last week against this team. The Ravens punched them in the mouths repeatedly, and the Cowboys didn't have answers till the absolute end. Get your comments in. I want to hear from Cowboys Nation. 2 losses in a row. Could have been 2 very embarrassing losses. But the Cowboys actually showed a little bit of fortitude in the fourth quarter, made it a game, almost came within a possession of possibly winning the game. But it was 28-6 heading into the fourth quarter. Don't you forget that. This game looked like it was out of hand, and that team looked like they wanted no part to be against the Ravens on this afternoon. Chuck's also back. Chuck says number 11 has had an attitude problem all season. Look, man, Parsons, I said this about CeeDee Lamb, but Parsons also suffers from front-runner syndrome. Parsons can be very, very, very quiet in a lot of these blowout losses. What was it in the playoffs? 1 tackle? Maybe 2? Let's see what Parsons did tonight. I think he did a little bit better tonight. Parsons, 5 tackles, 4 solos, 1 quarterback hit. Okay. That's decent. That's okay. Would like a lot more QB hits. I haven't seen the pressures yet, so if anybody has the pressure numbers, get those to me. But Parsons with 5 total tackles, 4 solo tonight in the loss to the Ravens. But I feel Parsons is also a front runner type of player where when the Cowboys get down on defense, you start to see him mope around, slump shoulder. It's just a prevalent problem, in my opinion, that the Cowboys, when they get down, they don't look like they're ready to make a comeback until it's too late. Sam's in here. What's up, Sam? Sam says, nothing that is not stating the obvious. The defense still can't stop the run. The offense starts way too slow, and they remain relaxed without any urgency to score. The defense needs help so that they can at least be able to pass rush. When you can't stop the run and your offense can't score, there's no need for opponents to even try to pass. Of course, yeah. Yeah, why even try to pass? That's why you saw Derek Carr last week and Lamar Jackson this week both have 20 combined attempts or less in victories, right? You don't need a pass whenever the Cowboys can't stop the run. At one point during the broadcast, it was Brady or Burkhart who said that the Cowboys had 14 missed tackles. And that was at the start of like the fourth quarter. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Marcus. What's up, Marcus? Marcus says, I said Guyton wasn't it. You did say it. I'm not willing to write Tyler Guyton off and say, he's done, he sucks, he's a bust. Nothing like that. It's growing pains for a young left tackle. He's going to go against monsters every single week in this league. Today he went against Justin Madubuike, who is a freaking dog on the pass rush. He went against Kyle Vanoy, the savvy 33-year-old veteran who had 2 sacks. Things are going to get worse before they get better for the young rookie left tackle. Raul, what's up, dog? What's up, Bubba? Raul says, I could care less about the comeback. Our running game is effing horrible. I've been saying since last year we have a tiny backfield, and you're spot on about attacking early. It's just not there, man. It's pathetic. It's pathetic right now. This Cowboys rushing attack is absolutely pathetic, and Jerry Jones had the gall to go on his radio show this week and say that the Cowboys were going to be just fine. They love what they have in the running back room. They don't got to worry about bringing anybody else in. They weren't worried about elevating Dalvin Cook from the practice squad. Jerry Jones said pretty much that the media just needs something to talk about. Don't let Jerry Jones lie to you. Don't let Jerry Jones fool you. He is absolute full of crap. He is a carnival barker. He is the greatest showman, right? Fantastic owner in the sense of making money, an absolute terrible show of a GM. He did nothing to improve the running back room in the offseason. You bring in Zeke Elliott. What did Zeke do tonight? 3 carries, 6 yards, 2 yards per carry. His longest run was 4 yards. What has Zeke done since week 1 where he had a semi-decent game? That's all they brought in. And then they freaking signed Dalvin Cook a couple of weeks ago to try to salvage what this running back room is, to try and say, look, we did improve it. Don't let the Joneses pull the wool over your eyes, because they will do that, and they'll try to sell you that this is all great. The Joneses are full of S when it comes to that. They always have been. All right, where are we at? Let's go. Andrew, Baltimore stopped playing. That's why Dallas came back. At least I think that's what happened, because the Saints didn't stop playing last week and Dallas couldn't come back. Well, I will say this. I don't think Baltimore stopped playing. I think Dallas finally realized that Baltimore had the 32nd ranked pass defense and started throwing on their asses. That defense, pass ranked, is 32nd. I don't think they stopped playing. I just think they're that bad. And if Dallas would have had success early on and cashed in on some of those early opportunities that they had, whenever CeeDee Lamb fumbled inside the 10-yard line, Dak put a dot on him. That could have been an opportunity where the Cowboys could have scored. But that CeeDee fumble happened on possession number 3 when the Cowboys were down 14-3. That could have been a 14-10 game. Things could have been a lot different. But this secondary for the Ravens, they're not that great. And I think Dallas finally unlocked something at the end, and they started attacking when they should have been probably doing that since the beginning. So there we go. I don't think the Ravens just quit. I think the Cowboys just attacked one of their biggest flaws, which is pass defense. Oh, man, here we go. Roel, what's up, Roel? Roel says, can't stop the run, James. Yeah, can't. It's the same thing like last year, guys, and I hate coming on here and preaching to the choir, because we all know this, and it's going to be the same thing every freaking week until they can prove that they can show the run, stop the run, right? Imagine whenever the Cowboys have to face Philadelphia, and you got Hurts, you got Saquon Barkley. Later on in the year, you got to face the Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee Harris, and Warren, and Justin Fields. You got to face the Niners. Maybe C-Mac will be back. If not, they got a lot of dudes that can run the ball. The playbook is out. You're going to run the ball on the Cowboys. You're going to be efficient, and you're going to pound them, and you're going to punch them in the mouth. The Cowboys don't like to see their own blood. They're the type of guy. The Cowboys are the type of guy, and we all know this kind of guy. Every single one of us knows this kind of guy. They're that type of guy who will talk a lot of crap at the bar, a lot of crap at the club, right? They're talking, they're moving their mouth, right? And then whenever somebody checks them or hits them, all of a sudden, they taste their blood, they get a little taste of their own blood, and they don't like it. And they start crying, and they can't handle that because they're used to being the bully. They're used to being a front runner. Just saying. The Cowboys don't like the taste of their own blood. That's not a good sign for a team that's playing in the NFL this season, because you're going to get punched in the mouth repeatedly if you can't stop the damn run. Aaron's in here. Aaron says, the teams have figured out the Cowboys formula. They literally ran the ball to the left. No answer. This defense is sadly giving Nolan vibes. We need to stay away from defensive coordinators named Mike. Yeah. They found it, man. They found the recipe to success, and they didn't have to look far from it, right? The past 3 Cowboys home games have all been just disasters in the sense of can't stop the run. Packers in the playoffs, Saints last week, today against the Baltimore Ravens, where they gave up 274 total yards rushing, 6.1 yards per carry, and 3 touchdowns. Ravens 28, Cowboys 25. This game was over before the comeback started, in my opinion. Would it have been nice? Hell yes. I would have been celebrating no matter what, because you don't apologize for W's in the NFL. You don't apologize for W's, period. But the Cowboys put themselves in a big hole in one of the worst ways possible. Now, another big moment that happened was on possession number 6 for the Dallas Cowboys. This happened right here. Who remembers whenever Tyler Guyton got called for holding, which negated a pass interference call against CeeDee Lamb, which would have put the Cowboys at the 1-yard line right before halftime. Instead, Holding call pushes them back. Cowboys have to kick a field goal. Brandon Aubrey, 51 yards. Now 15 of 15 to open his career from 50 yards or more, an NFL record. He's a badass. He's probably one of the best kickers, or the best kicker in the NFL. That's a big hold right there from Tyler Guyton. Cowboys get the ball at the 1. You score a touchdown. It's a 7 or 8 point game at the half, right? You go into half down 21-6. Ravens receive to start the second half, and it's a Derrick Henry 26-yard rush, a 5-play, 70-yard drive, which took 3:02. Ravens 28-6 with 11:58 in the third, and in the notes that I keep, I put game over. That's when I felt the game was done. Next possession, Dak gets sacked by Van Noy. Tons of Ravens on him, and that's when I put Guyton got spin moved into oblivion, because he did. He absolutely did. Fourth quarter comes around. Turpin has a couple of nice catches. It's always funny in these afternoon games when the Cowboys are going left to right on your TV and Dak Prescott has the sun in his freaking eyes while he's trying to lead a drive downfield. The incompetence of Jerry Jones, because he thinks the sun looks better on TV. That's all he cares about. He cares about the entertainment. He cares about the money. He don't give a damn if his team wins so long as his pockets are lined. Sun in Dak Prescott's eyes the entire fourth quarter as he's trying to lead the team back. Just the insanity of that is insane. Cowboys recover an onside kick. C.J. Goodwin, the watermelon kick by Aubrey, which is fantastic. And then Dak Prescott hits Jalen Tolbert wide open for 15 yards. 2-point conversion attempt, no good. Ravens 28-18, right? Cowboys then get a touchdown to Cavante Turpin from Dak Prescott for 16 yards. Aubrey makes the extra point. It was an 11-play, 91-yard drive, which took 2:33. Ravens 28-25. And then at the end, 3rd and 6 with 2:35. A pass catch by Zay Flowers with Diggs in coverage. Huge throw by Jackson. 2-minute warning comes. 2nd and 9. Lamar Jackson executes a beautiful, first of all, fake jet sweep to Flowers. Jackson pulls the ball out late, gets the first down. It's game over. So there's the fourth quarter summary for you guys out there, in case you were just wondering my thoughts on that. Got a lot of you watching. I appreciate y'all. I did a lot of good numbers last week on my video. Had over 1K plays. So I do appreciate y'all guys spreading the video. Share, like, all that stuff. That would be greatly appreciated, guys. Really, really would. Got a couple more comments in here. Fred says, Dallas Cowboys for life. Yes, Fred, of course. We know that. We know that. Chuck is back. Chuck says, on Lamar's TD run, Diggs gave up. He wasn't going to stop him, but at least put him on his ass. I have to go back and watch that, Chuck. I can't remember when I saw it live. I can't remember if I saw Diggs give up or not. I'll have to go back and watch that. Jared's in here. What's up, Jared? I appreciate you getting in, man. Jared says the defense doesn't have to respect the run, so it's making the pass game look worse than it is. Hard to judge the receiving core when they have guys playing back that normally couldn't with a respectable backfield. Yeah, and maybe the running game, Jared, I like your point right there. Maybe the running game being so bad is obviously hindering the playmaking of the pass, right? Because when defenses obviously know you're going to pass, yeah, they're going to sit in coverage. Yeah, they're going to bracket CD. Yeah, they're going to pin the ears back and rush Dak Prescott. They're going to send blitzes. When you become one-dimensional, it makes things easier for these defensive coordinators here in the NFL. It makes things easier for any level of football, high school included, when you become a one-dimensional offense. And right now, the Cowboys, unfortunately, are a one-dimensional offense. Cowboys lose to the Ravens 28-25. This is the postgame show with James Espinosa. Cowboys with a total of 51 yards rushing, 16 carries, 3.2 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, which was a quarterback sneak by Dak Prescott. So there we go. If you got any more comments to get into, please let me know. Going to go a couple of more minutes with you guys. RJ's in here. Appreciate you getting in, RJ. RJ says, we can all agree Zimmer was not a great hire. Man, it's so hard to make that conclusion after 3 games. I feel like we need a bigger sample size for me to declare that Zimmer's not a great hire. I feel like we need at least we need to at least get to October. Or we need to at least get to, let me see, we need at least a 5-game sample size. So the next 2 games, right? You got at the Giants on Thursday Night Football. And then the following weekend, you're at the Pittsburgh Steelers, who look pretty damn good. That will be on Sunday Night Football. 2 road contests. Thursday Night Football coming up with the Giants. A short week. How will the Cowboys respond to that? That's going to be interesting. I need to see a little bit more from Zimmer before I'm ready to say he is a failure of a defensive coordinator. I just feel like the sample size is a little bit too small, albeit the 2 losses extremely bad, albeit the run game looks terrible. I'm not quite ready to say that Zimmer is a terrible hire, but I'm close. I'm close. I need a couple more games to grow the sample size and get some more data and get some more trends off that. But, hey, if you have that take that Zimmer's terrible, then, hey, fine, so be it. Ralph, what's up, Ralph? One of my favorite guys to talk Cowboys with. Ralph says, we went 9 quarters with 1 offensive touchdown. That comeback was just losing time stat padding. Yeah, you could say it was stat padding. That's cool. You could also say that they tried to mount a comeback, which is fine. I think both can be true, right? To make a comeback in the fourth quarter when you're down 28-6, some will throw it in the stat padding bin, which I understand. Some will say, hey, the Cowboys fought valiantly in the fourth quarter, scored 19 points. I get it. I'm more of in the camp of, I think the Cowboys fought a little bit valiantly. They finally woke up a little bit, and they exposed the Ravens pass defense that was ranked 32nd in the NFL coming into this week. So I think they just took advantage of a bad secondary, and they were able to get some plays, and they lost by 3, right? 28-25, came down to the Ravens getting a first down with under 2 minutes left to seal the game. So, hey, you could say it's pad statting, whatever you want to say, right? But I think the Cowboys were just trying to play some football and expose a defense in the secondary that is not that great. So take that for what it's worth. 28-25 Ravens over the Cowboys. Cowboys fall to 1-2. They got the Giants on Thursday night in the Meadowlands. That game will be on Amazon Prime, Thursday Night Football. Going to be exciting, right, for that. I appreciate everybody who wished me a happy birthday this weekend. Thank y'all guys. Many of you guys who watched this did wish me a happy birthday. 35 years old. 35. Yeah, I'm 35. They say it's all downhill from here, but I'm having fun. So I'm going to continue to have fun. Going to continue to do what I love to do. Uriah, last one right here, and then I'm going to end the video. Uriah says, McCarthy's play calls were bad today. I think that's also a tough one to judge. I do think McCarthy did have some moments where you could kind of question, what are you thinking, Big Mike? But then again, I think McCarthy's also hamstrung because he doesn't have a running game. If you have a competent running game, Mike McCarthy's offense is going to be pretty good. Mike McCarthy and his West Coast style of offense, the run, the extension of the run with the little dump-offs to the receivers, they just don't have it right now. And you got 2 rookies on the offensive line who haven't been the best and who look like rookies. Cooper Beebe was also getting beat up at center today. He had a hard time from what I saw from the TV tape, right? We all know Guyton had a hard time tonight. I just think Big Mike is kind of hamstrung, and I think this offense is hamstrung due to the fact that Jerry Jones, the general manager of this team, did nothing to really improve the offense in the running back department and add a secondary receiver, right? I think the Cowboys are a little bit hamstrung offensively, but that doesn't excuse the performance of Dak early on. I thought Dak looked poor early on. I thought the offense, quite frankly, sucked early on until they started to mount what some will call a comeback or what some will call stat padding when they scored 19 points in the fourth quarter. So, look, Mike McCarthy, right? I think he's a fantastic offensive mind. When he's in his bag, he's in his bag. And the Cowboys can put up points. I just think right now the personnel's not there for the Cowboys, especially in the running department. So there we go. All right, Chuck, let's go. Chuck. One more, and then I'm out of here, guys. Chuck says, glad this is a Cowboys-only chat because I don't want you to ask me about the Sooners. Ooh. Yeah, tough one against Tennessee, Chuck. Tough one. Very, very tough. Hook 'em, though. I'm a Longhorn fan. Hook 'em all the way. All right, guys. Please like, share, do all that good stuff with this video. I would very much appreciate it. Love talking Cowboys with y'all. I love hearing y'all's opinions on the game. Cowboys lose 28-25 to the Ravens in a game that really was over, in my opinion, at the end of the third quarter when the Cowboys were down 28-6. And, you know, it's disappointing. Final thoughts here. It's disappointing because the Cowboys, they get punched in the mouth. They don't like the taste of their own blood, similar to dodgeball, right? No one makes me bleed my own blood, as Ben Stiller once said. They don't like it, and they don't know how to fight back. And when they do fight back, it's usually very, very late that they fight back. This is starting to become a disturbing trend with this team, dating back to last season when they were down big against the Bills. They were down big against the Cardinals. They were down big against the 49ers. They were down huge against the Packers in the playoffs. They were down last week huge against the Saints, and they were down big this week against the Ravens. It's starting to become a disturbing trend where the Cowboys can be labeled as front runners because when you hit them, when you show them that we are not going to take your crap, the Cowboys cower with their tail between their legs, and they act like little scared puppies out there. That's what I see. And maybe you see it, maybe you don't, but that is my take on the Cowboys. I wish they would show a lot more fight early on. But like I said, they don't like to taste their own blood, and they don't like to get hit in the mouth. They are a soft team in that regard. And that's going to wrap up the postgame show. I appreciate y'all watching. Postgame show with James Espinosa. Final score, once again, Ravens 28, Cowboys 25. I'll be back next week with another postgame show. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to my podcast. Links will be here in the chat. Subscribe to my YouTube. I'll have the link here momentarily as well. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for commenting. Until next week, final score, Ravens 28, Cowboys 25. That wraps up the postgame show with yours truly, James Espinosa.